They break records, sell out stadiums globally, and flash megawatt smiles that light up our screens. But behind the glitz, the glamour, and the record-breaking Billboard hits beats the heavy heart of a global icon. Today, we are peeling back the curtain on the world's biggest group, ranking the incredible journeys of all 7 BTS members through the lens of their hidden hardships, emotional depth, and the immense weight they carry behind those perfect smiles. We all know they smile for the camera, but the tears shed in private tell the true story of their legendary rise. In this video, we are ranking each member based on their emotional resilience, the depth of their personal sacrifices, and how they transformed their private struggles into global impact during Chapter 2 and beyond. Keep watching, because the member who lands at number 1 has a story of silent endurance so heartbreaking, yet so profoundly inspiring that it will completely change the way you see him. If you're ready to dive deep into the beautiful, complex minds of our boys, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and make sure you stick around until the very end. You will not want to miss a single second of this. Let's get into it.
Number 7. Jin, the eldest pillar who concealed the heaviest burdens behind a worldwide handsome smile. Coming in at number 7, we have none other than the pillar and eldest brother of the group, Kim Sok-jin. When you think of Jin, the immediate images that pop into your head are his iconic worldwide handsome flying kisses, infectious windshield wiper laugh, and legendary dad jokes that effortlessly break tension in any room. But beneath that unapologetic charm lies one of the most resilient, selfless vocal powerhouses in modern music history. Jin possesses a vocal tone so emotionally rich and soaring that critics around the globe have hailed him as the silver voice, capable of anchoring stadium-sized anthems with raw, tear-jerking vulnerability. His global brand value is undeniably massive, making headlines whether he is gracing luxury fashion houses, selling out solo releases in record time, or representing South Korea on the world stage as a torchbearer for the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics, a milestone that stunned even non-fans who witnessed millions rallying behind his single appearance. Even if you only know BTS casually, the sheer grit behind Jin's journey will leave you completely speechless. Did you know that Jin originally joined Big Hit Entertainment with dreams of becoming an actor, entering the training system with zero background in singing or dancing? He famously stayed up late into the night practicing the same 4 counts of choreography over and over while the others slept, purely because he refused to hold his younger members back. His solo track, The Astronaut, co-written with legendary rock band Coldplay, sold over 1 million copies in South Korea alone upon release, making him one of the fastest soloists in history to hit that certified milestone. And let's not forget how Chris Martin personally gifted Jin his beloved guitar, a rare sign of mutual artistic respect that left the entire industry in awe. Yet it is the personal sacrifices behind his radiant persona that reveal why Jin is fundamentally irreplaceable to BTS. In Korean society, the eldest member carries immense cultural authority, but Jin consciously chose to dismantle traditional age hierarchies to build an environment where the younger boys felt safe, heard, and free from intimidation. But this selflessness came with a hidden emotional cost that he rarely showed on screen. The turning point came in late 2020, right after BTS achieved their historic first-ever Billboard Hot 100 #1 with Dynamite. While the world was celebrating, Jin was secretly suffering in silence. He released the deeply intimate solo song, Abyss, courageously admitting in a public letter that he had experienced severe burnout and felt completely undeserving of the global acclaim. He revealed that he had been crying alone behind closed doors, wondering if he truly belonged at the top of the music world. That vulnerability transformed how the world saw him, and this is where ARMY stepped in with unmatched devotion. When ARMY embraced Abyss and echoed his lyrics of healing across global streaming charts, it gave Jin the validation he desperately needed. We also witnessed this magical bond at the Love Yourself tour at Wembley Stadium, when thousands of armies raised their lightsticks and sang along to Epiphany, moving Jin to tears on stage as he realized his message of self-love had healed millions. Watching Jin evolve from an anxious trainee in 2013 into a confident, mature global artist who willingly stood at the front line of mandatory military service proves just how formidable his inner strength truly is. Jin set the standard for what it means to lead from behind, carrying his pain in silence so his brothers could shine without fear. But if you think Jin carried a heavy heart behind his laughter, wait until you hear about the next member on our list. Coming up at number 6 is someone whose boundless intelligence and duty as the group's spokesperson masked a storm of pressure so intense that it nearly broke him.
Number 6. RM. The visionary leader carrying the burden of being the voice of an entire generation. Coming in at number 6 is the indispensable backbone, philosopher, and leader of BTS, Kim Namjoon, known to the world as RM. When the global media needs eloquence, poise, and brilliance, RM is always the first to step up to the microphone with a warm, commanding presence. He is a lyrical mastermind whose songwriting and production credits span hundreds of songs registered under the Korean Music Copyright Association, making him one of the most prolific creators of our time. With his commanding stage presence, distinct raspy flow, and striking runway-ready proportions, he seamlessly bridges the gap between underground hip-hop authenticity and high-fashion sophistication as a global ambassador for luxury houses like Bottega Veneta. His solo albums, Indigo and Right Place, Wrong Person, received sweeping critical acclaim from publications like Rolling Stone and Pitchfork, solidifying his status not just as an idol rapper, but as a defining artistic force of the 21st century. Even casual music listeners and non-fans are consistently stunned by RM's extraordinary intellect and achievements. Holding an IQ of 148, he famously taught himself fluent English as a teenager simply by watching reruns of the sitcom Friends with his mother. At just 24 years old, he made international headlines by delivering a historic 6-minute address at the United Nations General Assembly for UNICEF's Generation Unlimited campaign, speaking with a gravitas usually reserved for seasoned diplomats. Furthermore, his profound passion for fine arts earned him the prestigious Sponsor of the Arts Award from the Arts Council Korea, after he made massive charitable donations to preserve rare traditional Korean cultural artifacts, quietly turning entire museums into trending global tourist destinations simply by visiting them. Yet behind that composed intellectual posture was a young man carrying the weight of the entire world on his shoulders, often breaking down in total isolation. Imagine being barely in your 20s and thrust into high-stakes American television interviews where you have to mentally translate questions in real time, formulate witty English answers, protect 6 younger and overwhelmed bandmates from predatory industry questions, and maintain a bright smile without a single second to breathe. In behind-the-scenes footage and intimate documentary confessionals, fans caught heartbreaking glimpses of RM pacing in hotel corridors alone after massive stadium shows, holding his head in his hands as severe migraines and overwhelming existential dread took over. The defining public moment that shook everyone occurred during the 2022 BTS Festa dinner, where RM broke down in tears on camera, confessing that the relentless idol system had drained his soul and left him feeling as though he no longer knew who BTS or Kim Namjoon truly was, fearing he was letting everyone down by asking for time to heal. During these darkest valleys of self-doubt, it was ARMY who consistently served as his anchor and sanctuary. When RM felt misunderstood, ARMY created the global Namjooning movement, celebrating his introspective moments in nature and showing him that he was loved for his gentle humanity rather than just his achievements. And during his live performances of Trivia Love on world tours, ARMY painted entire stadiums with vibrant purple ocean waves and chanted his name in unison, physically showing him that he never had to stand alone at the podium. Watching RM evolve from a fierce, misunderstood underground teen rapper named Runchranda into a wise, empathetic global statesman who wears his emotional scars with pride has been nothing short of breathtaking. RM gave his youth, his peace of mind, and his private tears to pave the path for his brothers, proving that true leadership is defined by vulnerability. But if you think carrying the burden of leadership was painful, wait until you meet the member at number 5. Coming up next is a born perfectionist whose silent, sleepless nights in the practice room pushed him to the brink of physical and emotional exhaustion.
Number 5. Jimin, the angelic muse who pushed his body and soul to the absolute limit for perfection. Coming in at number 5 is the ethereal contemporary dancer, mesmerizing vocalist, and deeply compassionate heart of BTS, Park Jimin. Whenever Jimin steps onto a stage, the atmosphere instantly shifts, captivated by his gravity-defying movements and a deeply emotive, androgynous vocal tone that transcends language barriers. He is the undisputed it boy of South Korea, possessing a brand reputation so powerful that items he casually wears sell out globally within mere seconds, eventually leading him to become a revered global ambassador for luxury powerhouses like Dior and Tiffany & Co. His historic solo debut with the album Face shattered industry expectations, cementing his status as a legendary pop icon with a flawlessly executed concept that resonated worldwide. Whether he is delivering breathtaking high notes or executing fiercely intricate choreography, Jimin's undeniable stage presence and artistic magnetism make him a once-in-a-generation talent. The milestones Jimin has achieved are enough to leave even the most seasoned music critics in absolute awe. Did you know that before joining Big Hit, he was the top student in the modern dance department at the prestigious Busan High School of Arts, a rare feat highlighting his prodigal talent long before his debut? Fast forward to his solo career, and Jimin made history by becoming the very first South Korean solo artist to reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart with his synth-pop masterpiece, Like Crazy, a monumental achievement permanently altering the landscape of global pop music. Furthermore, his breathtaking performance of the traditional Korean fan dance at the 2018 Melon Music Awards earned him a prestigious plaque of appreciation from the Intangible Cultural Heritage Conservation Association, proving his immense impact in promoting traditional Korean culture to millions. Yet, beneath this glittering resume and angelic smile lies a grueling story of self-doubt, sleepless nights, and a desperate, punishing pursuit of perfection. As the last member to join BTS, Jimin had the shortest training period and lived in constant, agonizing fear of being cut from the final debut lineup. To survive, he adopted a punishing routine, often staying in the basement practice room until 4 in the morning, sleeping for just 2 hours, and heading straight to school. This extreme drive followed him into global superstardom, mutating into a severe inner critic. During the Burn the Stage documentary, the world witnessed a heartbreaking scene, Jimin sobbing uncontrollably backstage, utterly devastated because his voice had cracked for a split second during a live performance. He carried immense guilt, constantly pushing his body to the point of severe physical exhaustion, terrified of disappointing the people who believed in him. As we often highlight here on Bangtan Dispatch when diving into the untold stories of K-pop, the immense emotional toll Jimin willingly endured for the sake of his art is nothing short of staggering. Through these agonizing battles with his own self-worth, it was ARMY who consistently wrapped him in a blanket of unconditional love and reassurance.
When Jimin released his first self-composed acoustic track, Promise, as a healing letter to himself, ARMY rallied instantly, breaking SoundCloud records to make it the most streamed track in the platform's history within 24 hours, just to comfort him. We also witnessed this beautiful synergy during a concert in Macau, where Jimin was physically unable to perform the choreography due to severe neck and shoulder pain. Instead of being disappointed, the entire arena of ARMYs sang his vocal parts at the top of their lungs, moving him to tears. Watching Jimin evolve from an insecure teenager who punished himself over every tiny flaw into a fiercely confident, self-assured global muse has been one of the most beautiful transformations in Chapter 2. Jimin transformed his deepest insecurities into record-breaking art, proving that true beauty is born from resilience. But if you think his journey of self-acceptance was intense, brace yourself for the genius waiting at number 4. Coming up next is a fiercely independent soul whose quiet, stoic demeanor hides a deeply emotional past of fighting against the entire world to protect his musical dreams.
Number 4. Suga, the stoic genius who forged global masterpieces from the ashes of his own pain. Coming in at number 4 is the razor-sharp lyricist, visionary producer, and the quiet, grounding force of BTS, Min Yoon-gi, globally known as Suga, and his fierce alter ego, August D. When you talk about the raw, unfiltered musical DNA of BTS, you are talking about the brilliant soul of Suga. He is a powerhouse producer who commands the stage with an aggressive, rapid-fire rap flow that completely sets the arena on fire. Yet he contrasts it with a deeply introspective, cinematic approach to his solo artistry. His brand value is undeniably immense, sitting comfortably in the highest echelons of high fashion as a global brand ambassador for Valentino, effortlessly blending high-end tailoring with his signature rock star edge. As a soloist, his monumental D-Day trilogy solidified his reputation as an elite storyteller, breaking records across global streaming platforms and proving his immense standalone power. Whether he is producing chart-topping hits for the group or dominating the screen in his breathtaking solo music videos, Suga's artistic brilliance is recognized by the entire global music industry as truly one of a kind. The milestones Suga has casually racked up throughout his career are nothing short of legendary. Did you know that he was appointed as an official ambassador for the National Basketball Association, merging his lifelong passion for basketball with his massive global influence in a move that stunned sports fans and non-fans alike? Furthermore, he was one of the youngest artists ever to be promoted to a full member of the prestigious Korean Music Copyright Association, a testament to his massive catalog of self-produced hits. He also made history during Chapter 2 as the very first BTS member to embark on a completely sold-out worldwide solo arena tour, commanding massive stages all by himself and performing with a live rock band to hundreds of thousands of screaming fans. Let's not forget that he is the highly sought-after genius behind massive global collaborations, having produced and featured on Track of the Year masterpieces for legendary artists like IU, Psy, Halsey, and Coldplay. Yet, behind this towering wall of musical achievements and his famously stoic demeanor is a story of agonizing physical pain and heartbreaking survival. To understand why Suga is the irreplaceable anchor of BTS, you have to look at the immense sacrifices he made just to debut. Growing up in Daegu, he struggled financially, often having to choose between eating a $2 noodle of noodles or taking the bus home after selling his beats for pennies. While training in Seoul, he secretly worked as a delivery boy to pay his tuition, eventually getting struck by a car in the pouring rain and severely shattering his shoulder. Terrified that the company would terminate his contract, he hid the excruciating injury for years, enduring agonizing pain during intense choreography practices in total silence.
He often locked himself in his tiny studio, battling severe anxiety and fighting the entire world to protect his musical dreams, while the industry constantly looked down on their small hip-hop group. During these intense battles with his own shadows, ARMY consistently served as his ultimate sanctuary and greatest defenders. When Suga finally underwent major shoulder surgery in 2020 and had to step away from the spotlight, ARMY meticulously trended daily healing messages worldwide, ensuring he knew the stage would always wait for him. And during the profoundly emotional finale of his D-Day tour in Seoul, we witnessed a moment that will go down in history, as Suga completely broke down in heavy, agonizing tears on stage while performing Snooze. Physically unable to sing the lyrics, thousands of ARMYs immediately took over, singing the words of comfort right back to him. Watching him evolve from a hardened, angry underground rapper fighting for survival into a peaceful, healed mentor who uses his scars to write anthems of comfort for the youth is an incredibly inspiring journey. Suga bled for his art so that others could find healing in his words. But if you think his silent endurance was profound, wait until you uncover the story of the member at number 3. Coming up next is the radiant sunshine of the group, whose blinding smile frequently masked the immense pressure of holding the team's spectacular performances together.
Number 3. J-Hope, the radiant sunshine whose blinding smile carried the heaviest pressures of the stage. Coming in at number 3 is the unmatched dance captain, energetic rapper, and the undisputed sunshine of BTS, Jungkook, universally loved as J-Hope. Whenever J-Hope steps into the spotlight, he brings an explosive, electrifying energy that dominates the stage, executing razor-sharp movements with a fluidity that leaves professional choreographers entirely speechless. He is a formidable fashion icon, commanding global attention as a house ambassador for Louis Vuitton, seamlessly blending high-end avant-garde aesthetics with his authentic street dance roots. His historic solo era, spearheaded by the acclaimed concept album Jack in the Box, proved his immense artistic range as he boldly stepped out of his bright persona to explore darker, raw, and deeply philosophical themes of ambition and anxiety. Whether he is leading the group's grueling dance practices or captivating millions with his unparalleled charisma, J-Hope is widely recognized by industry experts as the ultimate performer and the indispensable bridge connecting the fierce rap line and the emotional vocal line. The staggering milestones J-Hope has accomplished are enough to cement his legacy as a true trailblazer in the global music industry. Did you know that he made history by becoming the first South Korean artist to ever headline a major United States music festival, drawing over 100,000 fans to his Lollapalooza set, affectionately dubbed Hopapalooza? Before joining Big Hit Entertainment, he was already a famous underground street dancer in his hometown of Gwangju, winning numerous national dance battles as a core member of the legendary Neuron dance crew. He also shattered expectations with his solo documentary series, Hope on the Street, charting incredibly high on global streaming platforms as he traveled the world to reconnect with his hip-hop roots, an achievement that deeply impressed both seasoned dance critics and casual viewers alike. Yet, behind the infectious laughter, the bright sound effects, and his famous introduction as Your Hope, lies a tremendous burden of responsibility and a history of silent, heartbreaking pressure. J-Hope is the strict, meticulous dance leader who holds the team's spectacular performances together, constantly pushing his own physical limits while ensuring that all 6 of his brothers look flawless on stage. But maintaining that blindingly positive persona for the world often meant burying his own exhaustion and anxiety deep down inside. The defining moment that exposed this emotional weight occurred during the 2018 Mnet Asian Music Awards, a night forever etched in history.
When BTS won the prestigious Artist of the Year award, J-Hope broke down in violent, agonizing sobs at the podium, confessing that the group had endured such severe mental hardships that year, they had seriously considered disbanding. He cried because he was so overwhelmingly relieved they had survived the storm, revealing just how much terrifying anxiety he had hidden behind his radiant smile, just to keep the team from falling apart. During these intense moments of vulnerability, it was ARMY who consistently proved that he did not always have to be strong or smiling to be unconditionally loved. When J-Hope stood alone on that massive Lollapalooza stage, visibly nervous to perform without his members for the first time, ARMY created a breathtaking ocean of light and screamed his lyrics so loudly that his fears instantly vanished, transforming his anxiety into absolute historic triumph. We also witnessed this beautiful connection during the Speak Yourself tour when he performed his solo track, Trivia, Just Dance. Thousands of ARMYs coordinated to chant his real name, Jungkook, at the top of their lungs, moving him to tears and showing him that the man behind the sunshine persona was deeply cherished. Watching J-Hope evolve from a young boy who was once unfairly criticized into a fearless, history-making headliner who owns every stage he touches is a masterclass in relentless dedication. J-Hope carried the heavy responsibility of being the group's pillar of joy, sacrificing his own tears so that his brothers could smile without worry. But if you think holding the team together was an overwhelming task, wait until you meet the incredibly complex artist sitting at number 2. Coming up next is a deeply misunderstood artistic soul whose breathtaking visuals and deep soulful voice hid a painful journey of searching for his true identity.
Number 2. V. The artistic soul who painted the world purple despite walking a path of hidden isolation. Coming in at number 2 is the breathtaking baritone, visual masterpiece, and eccentric artistic genius of BTS, Kim Tae-young, universally adored as V. Whenever V graces the screen or the stage, he commands attention with an unmatched, mesmerizing duality, shifting seamlessly from a fierce, intense performer to a warm, soulful jazz romantic in the blink of an eye. His global brand influence is absolutely astronomical, routinely crashing websites and drawing unprecedented crowds worldwide as a highly coveted global ambassador for luxury titans like Celine and Cartier. With a uniquely rich, deep vocal tone that stands out in the pop music landscape, his solo debut album, Layover, shattered records by bringing nostalgic neo-soul and R&B elements back into the mainstream, proving his artistic depth goes far beyond conventional idol standards. Whether he is capturing breathtaking photography under the pseudonym Vante or going viral for his effortlessly chic fashion sense, V is celebrated by critics as a true cultural icon who completely redefines modern masculinity and artistic freedom. The sheer scale of V's individual milestones is enough to leave anyone completely astounded. Did you know that he officially holds multiple Guinness World Records, including becoming the fastest person in the entire world to reach 10 million and 50 million followers on Instagram, bypassing massive Hollywood celebrities and global athletes? Beyond his musical talents, he is also an accomplished actor, having made a highly successful debut in the historical drama Hwarang, a role that showcased his emotional range and earned him widespread critical praise across South Korea. But perhaps his most legendary contribution to the world, and a fact that even casual onlookers find incredibly moving, is that he single-handedly coined the phrase "borahae," or "I purple you." What started as an unscripted, spontaneous remark at a fan meeting has transformed into a massive global movement, officially adopted by UNICEF, massive global brands, and even inspiring iconic landmarks around the world to light up purple in honor of BTS. Yet behind the staggering beauty, the record-breaking social media presence, and his whimsical charm lies a deeply emotional journey marked by severe isolation and a quiet, agonizing search for his own identity.
To truly understand why V is the irreplaceable emotional core of BTS, we have to look back at the agonizing days before their debut. While the other members were introduced to the public through vlogs and social media, V was kept entirely a secret by the company as their hidden weapon, forcing him to sit in the corner of the room, completely out of the camera's frame while his friends interacted with fans. He later confessed that this isolation deeply wounded him, leaving him terrified that he might be cut from the group at the last minute and never get the chance to debut. This deep-seated fear of being left behind lingered into their superstar years, heavily culminating in late 2020 when he experienced a severe, debilitating burnout. He felt completely empty and overwhelmed by the immense pressure of global fame, taking those agonizing feelings of depression and pouring them into the creation of the hauntingly beautiful track, Blue and Gray, where he desperately pleaded for someone to hold his hand and acknowledge his silent exhaustion. During these profound moments of darkness and creative struggle, ARMY has always been his guiding light and safe haven. When V gifted the world Blue and Gray, ARMY immediately embraced his vulnerability, sending the track soaring up the global charts and filling social media with massive waves of validation, letting him know that it was perfectly okay to not always be happy. We also witnessed this unbreakable bond when ARMY adopted Borahae as a lifelong vow, physically manifesting this promise by turning entire concert stadiums into breathtaking glowing purple galaxies, just to show V that they would trust and love him until the end of time. Watching Taehyung evolve from a lonely, hidden trainee who just wanted to be seen into a confident, multifaceted artist who dictates his own creative pace in Chapter 2 is a profoundly beautiful testament to his immense inner strength. V turned his deepest loneliness into a brilliant color of love that completely enveloped the globe. But if you think his journey of overcoming hidden trauma was awe-inspiring, you are not ready for the legendary story of the member taking the crown. Coming up at number 1 is a prodigious talent who gave up his entire childhood to carry the weight of his older brother's dreams, eventually conquering the entire world.
Number 1. Jungkook, the golden maknae who sacrificed his youth to become the ultimate global pop titan. Coming in at the highly anticipated number 1 spot is the undisputed ace, center, and beating heart of BTS, Jungkook, universally celebrated by the world as the golden maknae. When you speak about the modern evolution of global pop music, you absolutely must talk about the sheer unstoppable force that is Jungkook. He is the ultimate all-rounder, possessing a crystalline, incredibly versatile vocal tone that can flawlessly execute breathless pop anthems, sultry R&B tracks, and heartbreaking ballads, all while delivering grueling, razor-sharp choreography without breaking a single sweat. His astronomical brand power is completely unrivaled, famously causing items ranging from luxury fashion as a global ambassador for Calvin Klein, down to simple everyday fabric softeners to sell out worldwide in mere minutes. His historic solo era, completely encapsulated by the monumental English-language album Golden, shattered absolutely every expectation, placing him squarely shoulder to shoulder with the biggest Western pop stars of our generation. Whether he is breaking the internet with a casual late-night live stream or dominating international charts, Jungkook's sheer magnetism and unmatched work ethic make him a terrifyingly brilliant, once-in-a-lifetime prodigy. The jaw-dropping milestones Jungkook has collected are so monumental that they have literally rewritten the history books for global artists. Did you know that his smash hit solo debut, 7, officially broke the Guinness World Record for the fastest track in history to reach 1 billion streams on Spotify? A mind-blowing achievement that completely stunned the Western music industry. Even non-fans and the general public were completely captivated by him when he took to the global stage at the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, making history as the first ever South Korean artist to perform an official anthem at the tournament's opening ceremony with the awe-inspiring track Dreamers.
Furthermore, he remains the youngest recipient of the prestigious Hwagwon Order of Cultural Merit from the South Korean government, an award given for his extraordinary contributions to spreading Korean culture globally, proving his impact reaches far beyond just the music charts. Yet, to truly understand the immense weight carried by the member sitting at number 1, you have to look at the staggering personal sacrifices he made by surrendering his entire childhood to the spotlight. Joining the company at just 13 years old and debuting at 15, Jungkook spent his most formative years navigating the crushing pressures of the industry, separated from his family and completely relying on his 6 older brothers to raise him. Despite being incredibly shy, so timid that he used to wait until all the other members were asleep just to take a shower, he absorbed all of their talents, habits, and heavy pressures to become the ultimate pillar of the group. The most heartbreaking revelation of his inner world came to light during the production of his solo track, Begin, where RM revealed that the usually quiet, stoic Jungkook broke down in heavy, agonizing tears during a meeting, confessing that his only true hardship was not the grueling schedules or his own physical exhaustion, but seeing his older brothers struggling mentally and feeling completely helpless to stop their pain. Through every moment of overwhelming pressure, ARMY has consistently been the protective shield that allowed Jungkook to find his true voice and confidence. When he released his self-produced, heartfelt track, Still With You, as an ode to his intense longing for the fans during the pandemic, ARMY immediately embraced it, turning it into a timeless, viral anthem that proved his emotional sincerity resonated deeply across the globe. We also witnessed this phenomenal bond during his golden promotional era, where ARMY shattered global streaming records and rallied in Times Square for his surprise pop-up concert, physically proving to him that even when he stands on a massive stage without his older brothers, he will never have to face the world alone. Watching Jungkook evolve from a timid, doe-eyed teenager carrying a massive, oversized backpack into a fiercely independent, history-making global pop titan is the ultimate triumph of the BTS legacy. Jungkook gave his entire youth to BTS, and in return, he conquered the entire world. But before we close this incredible journey and officially wrap up our ranking, we need to talk about what this means for the future.